In this video, Mari and I are going to review LinkedIn profiles of career coaches and talk about what's working and what's not working to be able to convert strangers into paying clients. This is the final video of the series of the month where we talk about how to use your LinkedIn to build your career coaching business. And this is where we put all the strategies that we've been teaching into actionable executional advice. So let's get started. If we have not yet met, my name is Gajanan. I've been in the career coaching industry for over 10 years, and I work with career coaches like you to help them build a profitable, scalable, and impactful 10K to 80K plus a month career coaching business. And with me today, I have Mari, who's part of the marketing team, and she's actually been working on LinkedIn and writing my LinkedIn content. She is the person, technically my ghostwriter, for the past 3 years, and is the subject matter expert inside of our program that helps our clients build better content and profile pages so that they convert strangers into clients. So
let's get started.
So let's dive in. We had a couple of people inside of our school community were brave enough to let us essentially review their profile together. And I just want to have you walk us through what you're seeing, what you're noticing, and I'll also give you some of my thoughts.
Perfect. So I know that we have been talking about this on the previous videos on this channel. We have a playlist here that you can watch. But here we can start by looking at like the first impression that people are going to see when they look at Oxana's profile. Here we have a tagline that is repeated both on the heading and then on the banner that says "Master your job search, start getting offers." Oxana influence digest top career coach book of free consultation. The only thing that I would suggest here that are small tweaks, Danny, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not necessarily familiar with what is it exactly that she's offering me. I know that she's helping me get offers, but I'm not exactly sure if this is meant for me, if this is meant for general job seekers, for entry level, for senior level, for people in tech, women in tech, minorities, etc. So the only thing that I would suggest here is that she specializes more on the niche. Something really good that I would highlight from her profile is the 93.75% client success. Why? Because at the end of the day, this is social proof. This is really important that a really important thing that will help people gain trust with that. So that's really good that she's highlighting this. But we can dive deeper into the next section, which would be the about section. Danny, I think you can give more context here.
I think in the About Me section, I think she does it. What I really like about this About Me section is that it's not focused on her, but it's focusing on who she helps and how she helps them, right? And we talk a lot about this, that a common mistake that we see coaches make is that their LinkedIn profile is set up more like a resume, which is what LinkedIn is essentially built for, to be a digital resume. But we're using LinkedIn to be your landing page. And we've talked about in other videos how if you're building a career coaching business and you're using LinkedIn as your primary form of generating leads, you technically do not need a website, right? Because a website can be extremely biased, while LinkedIn can be more transparent. And so using your About Me page, not like a cover letter, which is what, essentially is, but is serving more as the home body, or like the home part of a website would do, which is who I am, who I help, how I help them, and then sprinkle in social proof is ultimately the right way to use it. And Oxana is using it correctly. Yeah. Here, she's putting services pages on now. I have services pages on. I would tell you that I haven't seen a high-ticket career coach being able to use the service page correctly, because whenever you're doing services from LinkedIn, you're now being more of a commodity and you're trying to outbid people on the lowest price point. So I'm not sure how it's working for her. It doesn't seem to be working well for our high-ticket clients when you're selling big packages. But I use it for me when I look at my page. I use it for me to post a video for a testimonial page for all my client testimonials as well. So what do you see here on the feature section?
I see on the feature section that she's highlighting the majority of posts that have gone pretty viral, that maybe are talking about her personal experience, like some posts that can support what her personal brand is. So that's also really good, that a really good thing that she's doing. Something that is really important and a lot of coaches do is that they actually have the link of a lead magnet here. Oxana here, for instance, has a discovery call, so that's a good way to attract clients into that, especially if they are already on your profile. So that's a good thing. And she's also highlighting, I see here that she has like really good social proof pictures,
Well, I think that the feature sections, there's levels to this, right? I think Level 0 is you're not using the feature section. You don't even know how to put this feature section on, right? And so that's something that you should definitely do. And level 1 to this is you want to ping post. And a lot of times using, like Mari said, a lot of the posts that Oxana has are posts that have gone more than average traction. So it's just letting people know that the level of social proof. But the next level above that, I would say, is where you're using the feature section to maybe take them to some lead magnets to like apply to work me button or join a community or book a call with me, or there's links to testimonial pages. So you're essentially using the feature section to highlight the next step that you want your leads to take, right? And so I think, Oxana, if you're watching this, my feedback is, do you have testimonial videos that we can pin here? Do you have a lead magnet, like an ebook that we can add alongside the Calendly? And then maybe instead of a discovery call, I would put an apply to work with you button here. I've seen that work a little bit better. Let's move a little bit forward down the video activity. We can dive into some of our posts in a second. This is a common section I think that can easily be tweaked if you're a career coach, because again, before your career coaching business, your experience is your resume, what you did in this job. But now I would challenge you to use your experience section more like how has that experience has helped you get to the point where you now can help others get to that same transformation that you have, right? So this is where highlighting those things, like if you go to my profile, like let's go down to me, I use my experience like at PepsiCo. My main role was actually a regional key account manager. That's what I did 40 hours a week. The extracurricular activities that I did where I managed and led campus recruiting was actually maybe less than 5% of my overall role. But I knew that gave me that relevant experience to be a career coach on it. So I highlighted it first, right? So I don't know Oxana's background and what she could highlight more or not, right? That's where we would have to dive into if we were working her as a client. But when I look at this, to me, I see a lack of focus, right? So take this advice, Oxana, right? You are working full-time career coaching for your coaching business. So Oxana, first and last name coaching. Then it looks like you are working as a career coach for another company called Ascend, Career Coaching and Life Strategies. And then it looks like you have a full-time job as a climate-based fellow. Okay, that's a fellow. And then, so like what I'm saying is like, even it took me so much more time to do that, but most people just scan through this. It's like she has 3 jobs. So if I am a client, does she have time for me? So that's like kind of like what I'm thinking, because you have to remember that as humans, we're all selfish creatures. And therefore, if I see too many of these things, does it help our clients get clarity on how I can get them to their dream job? Or does it make it more confusing? Personally, I would probably say, does this climate-based fellowship help me help international leaders land senior roles? If not, I would hide it. Does working at Ascend as a career coach for 4 months adds any sort of credibility? To be honest, no, because you've been working in your own business for over 2.6 years. If not, it makes me wonder, you might not be doing that well if you have to go get a part-time job for somewhere else, right? So those are the things that maybe you're not taking into account when you're looking at that experience, but those are easy changes. Just freaking hide these 2 things, right? And so those would be the main things that I would put in that experience. Also, I think one thing she's doing right is she's highlighting top 15 career coaches in Seattle. She's highlighting, she's adding certificates inside of it. So using photos, like you see, I use it a lot where I'm adding proof. I'm a board member of Big Brothers Big Sisters, of tons of pictures of me and my little brother, right? I have tons of pictures where I am proving that I have done what I said I did, right? Career campus, lead campus recruiter, there's a picture of me behind the Frito-Lay or PepsiCo tent at a career service. That adds credibility, right? And so you can see on and on. You know, they say a picture's worth a million words. That's what we're trying to illustrate here. I wanted to stack it with social proof as much as possible. Mari, anything you want to add?
No, I think we're good. Let's move on to Gajanan.
All right, let's move on. Well, hey, hold on a second. Education, everything else good. The last thing I would say here is the recommendations. 26 recommendations. Another thing we didn't even highlight, you could pin recommendations in your feature section. To me, if you're watching this, Oxana, I would pin 1 or 2 of your best recommendations instead of pinning posts. Because again, what's more powerful to convince a stranger to buy your stuff? A post that got 100 likes or recommendation by someone that you help make that transformation. Easy change, but will mean a world of a difference as well. Yeah, I think overall though, Oksana, if I had to rate this profile, I would give you a 6 out of 10. But with a couple of changes, you can easily get this to be an 8 out of 10 profile.
Yeah. You have the social proof, you have everything it takes. You just need to reorganize it to make sure it conveys what is it exactly that you're trying to say.
Yeah. So now we obviously spent a little bit more time on Oksana. A lot of the basic fundamentals. We will go a little bit faster on other profiles, but you guys will see the point. So let's get started with the next one.
We have Gajanan here. He's a career coach from India. And he has his tagline, which is get 5 to 7 interviews in 6 weeks. He's a certified resume writer, and he helps you get hired 5 times faster. So I see that he has a pretty complete banner picture. Same thing that I would suggest Oksana, I would suggest to him. And it is to make sure you are highlighting who is it that you're helping. Like, you can be a certified resume writer, you can be a career strategist, career coach that helps you get interviews, but I would personally feel more identified with your content if you were talking exactly to me. So if, let's say, Gajanan, you have a lot of experience in, let's say, engineering or any particular field that's pretty specific or that can be highlighted in industry specifics, then that's something that I would try to aim at, especially on the banner and on the banner section.
I would add here, if I think, Maya, you're right. I don't think he has a clear niche, right? And therefore, he just looks like too much of a broad career coach. And I also think he's extremely broad on how he says things. Like, I think people right now we're in this trust recession, so people are just thinking that everything they see online is BS, and you're guilty until you prove it innocent, right? And so they are the judge, the jury, and the executioner. And so to me, when I look at your profile, you're saying a lot of things, but saying nothing at the same time. You're a job resume writer. What does that mean? To me, I would much rather say my resume gets people on average of interviews in less than 30 days. That's more meaningful. Again, we're selfish creatures. We don't know what's in it for me. I don't care that you are a LinkedIn optimist. What does LinkedIn optimization mean? Or what is job winning strategies? I would rather do numbers. Like Oksana, right? She put 93.75 success rate. I like numbers, right? Or if we go to Reno, who just literally in his last post talked about 300 plus professionals. The more you can quantify your success, or how much increased salary you average do, how many days to jobs, how many people you've helped, the more you can add that social proof, I think that's great. Now, to give you credit, Gajanan, to give you credit, Gajanan, I do like the fact that clients hire at, and you have top logos of companies that everyone recognizes, and you start with Tata Consulting, which is one of the biggest companies in India in the knowledge base. So, and you have JP Morgan and Schneider Electric. That's great. Let's do more of that in other quantifiable ways, and let's have a more clear transformation inside of the subject line.
At the end of the day, you have the social proof already. You have to look at it in the way of you're fighting to get people's attention. How is it exactly that you can convey that attention faster so that people feel related to it?
Yep. All right, about me.
Something, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Gajanan has done a pretty good job at the storytelling part of it, which is really important in order to build a personal brand and actually getting people to interiorize your content and actually read through it. But something also really important here is that he helps job seekers in India and overseas get interviews again. So basically, he's helping job seekers all over the world get interviews again. So maybe is there a way that we can quantify your outcome? Is there a way that we can give a lot more social proof here on the about section about how is it that you got in here? How is it that you eventually became a career coach? What is it exactly that took you to be here, and why? What is your purpose in order to help people here?
Again, I think there's levels to this, right? And so the first level here is you tell your success stories and how you did it. He said it, right? 7 interviews, 2 months, 30%, 50 interviews, like I got 2 job offers. Great. If right now you don't have enough other people's testimonial, starting with your own success, it's fair, it's great, it's a great start. The second level, once you've gotten other success stories and even success stories that are even better than yours, is stop highlighting yourself as the hero of the story, but highlight yourself as the guide of you helping others reach other levels of success, right? And that's, to me, the best way to approach it, where you're coming off as the guide and the job seeker is the hero, but you guided them to get better jobs faster.
piggybacking on what Daniel said earlier, people want the attention. People want to be the heroes. You just got to be the motor or the thing that helps them achieve the great things, achieve great success. You just got to show them how is it exactly that you're going to be involved in their story.
Yep. Service page, and we'll go a little bit faster here. I think you're doing the service page a wonderful place. Quantify that 500 plus resumes. We're seeing 4.9 stars out of 5, 20 plus reviews. This is great. I honestly think you have a better service page than I've seen in a long time. So I wouldn't change a thing here. So great job. Feature section.
Here we have a post that has gone pretty viral. We have a link in order to book a discovery call, a strategy session, sales calls, whatever. And then we have a recommendation. So that's actually something that we recommended Oxana to do. That's something that Gajanan has done pretty good here. I don't know if you want to add anything else.
I think the only thing is like people spend more time on their resumes than on their LinkedIn. And you as a coach probably say that. And I also will say most people spend more time optimizing their website than their LinkedIn. If you had a broken image on your website, how fast would it take you to fix it? Yeah, why wouldn't you make sure that the picture here on your feature section is not showing something like you, right? Because it's not that you lack good photos. Like, I actually think your headshot and your banner, like if I didn't know any better, you look like a lawyer, like a billboard here in America. There's lawyer billboards everywhere. It looks great, right? It looks super professional. But then, and even your service page, so you don't have a branding issue. Why not promote that here? And if I wanted to nitpick this, because I actually think if you fix that, I don't think this is a bad feature section. The more things you add to the feature section, the smaller the squares become. And so because of that, I actually think that how many things we have in our feature section. In our feature section, you can see here in this, we have 2 things. Now, could we add more? Yes. But look at the difference of how big our square is compared to this one when there's 3. You can't even read the recommendation. So to me, I'd much rather you take away the pinned post and give the 30-minute meeting and the recommendation more room for people to see that. Yeah. Activity, we'll dive in here, but here in the experience section, just to kind of go here a little bit more quickly, this little gray boxes, it's an easy fix. You open your own business's LinkedIn page, you attach an image, and now it looks a little bit professional. That's a 10-minute fix. Do you need to post on that LinkedIn page every week, every month? No, right? We don't. We need to do. I think we started doing that recently, but it's not something we did for a long time. But just adding that picture there looks much better. And aside from that, I think it's just doubling down to more information in that experience section. Use this as an opportunity to sell too. And yeah, it's just, to me, when I see so many gray boxes, I don't know if it's just this lack of credibility, because like bigger companies have a LinkedIn page that you can attach yourself to. So to me, when I see 3 out of the 4 experiences that you had have this like empty box, seems more like a yellow / red flag. So I would at least try to fix your own business and then give yourself more social proof and credibility. Because again, it's not a branding issue that you have. You have great branding on the top. It's not doing it all the way in the bottom. License and certification, awesome. Way to good job. Put this resume writer thing here. And then recommendations. Again, you have 8 recommendations. Can you get more, right? Can you get, like the last one you got was in August. Can you get something that's in 2026? So now that we are in 2026, so it doesn't seem so outdated.
Especially since you're mentioning that you have helped people with at least a 500 or 500 plus resumes. That's a perfect opportunity, or a group of people that you can perfectly ask them for a favor. Like it doesn't even take them 30 seconds to write.
Yeah. And you want it, like, this is again, attention to the details. The last recommendation you got is that you guys work on the same team. So the other one underneath that is, he was a client. I want to see more people that say that they were your client, right? And then that's just nitpicking at it. But again, if I were to rate this profile, I would probably give this more closer to a 5. I do think that if you make the changes that we do here, maybe you go to a 6 or a 7. I actually think that the top part of your profile is your strongest. The lower your profile, the lower we go in your profile, the weaker it gets, but can be optimized.
And the thing is that if they are down there in your profile, it's because they want to learn more about you. So you have to make sure that you're giving them the information that they need in order to get more trust from them.
So if you find value from this video and you can see how this actionable advice can help you get clients, and you want to be part of getting your LinkedIn profile review, your post review, we actually want to invite you to our career coaches community in school. You can hit the link below, join us. We actually have live sessions all the time where Mari and I join and are literally right there in small groups, privately sharing our thoughts on your post, on your LinkedIn profile, making changes, those little tweaks, that little increments of tweaks here and there make a massive difference. And don't forget, if you like this video, to like and subscribe so that you don't miss any other videos moving forward. Thanks for watching.
See you in the next video. Bye.